Yeah.
Hey
Okay.
guys.
Hey, me too.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Fine, fine.
Today we have two ladies.
Was that what was that?
Why you're not turning the video on?
Ladies or all of people here?
Anya, can we play a short video clip like from the movie? Wouldn't we get fun?
Better not.
It's like 1 minute long, I think.
Yeah, we have a song. 1 moment.
No, not about the song. I just wanted something. I wanted to play something else, not the song this time. Can we like do that?
I don't know. I would only see after the video is finally.
But we can cut it off, I think, if, in the end, right?
Yeah, but if we cut it, live chat would be turned off, so people wouldn't see the chat during watching our video. So
that's a no.
Wait, but did we?
A polite no.
Vladimir,
Guys, please mute.
Vladimir, please mute because it's like very noisy. Thank you. No, the question is like, was we ever asked to cut anything?
Yes, we've got some ban sanction from YouTube, and I think in the next time we always should find any song without author permissions and with free license. Yeah, and it should be all time, because I really tired to cut off the videos and there are no live chats. Then it's a very big problem, actually.
So we should not play at all because there are no licenses on YouTube.
Yes, but there might be like how can I say cover, like
covers.
Yeah, covers. Yeah, we can use them.
They're awful. Like
yeah, they are.
Most of the time, they're just awful.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe something. Maybe we can find something not so worth something.
Oh, then we don't need to do that altogether, I think.
We'll think of something new. We'll think of something new. Okay.
Okay.
We need to think
okay, let's start.
Yeah, let's get started because we have a lot to cover and I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour podcast. So, yeah.
Actually, we're live already.
Yeah, I know. All right. So greetings, everyone. Welcome to another edition of our weekly update. We have a very packed schedule, so to keep it from going too long, I'm just going to begin. First of all, the new interface that we've been talking about as part of the move to decentralized governance 1.1, that's done. That's complete. I want to just say a huge thank you to the governance interface team. That's Eugene, Nikita, Delnara, Yevgenia, Boris. Guys, thank you all so very much for your hard work. You guys are the bomb, so thank you. That said, though, the jury began voting for the jury selection 1.1 contest and the decentralized support 2 contest. I think they started doing it on Friday or Saturday, and we discovered a bug. So they spent the entirety of yesterday and even part of Sunday before that working on it. So at this moment, it seems the bug has been fixed. So the jury can resume voting. Everything should be pretty much finalized in the next few days and we can get results and start sending out tokens. So hooray for that. Existing jurors, please go and vote. There are exactly 2 days left to do it. So again, jury selection 1.1, decentralized support 2. We need your votes. We need that done. We need your feedback. Please go and do so. Next, the balance of tokens for the DevOps contest winners has been sent out. It was sent out yesterday. So yay, more tokens out in the market. Sorry it took as long as it did. We were basically waiting for the smart contract. Now that that's done, things should be much easier as we move forward. Okay. Next, the jury finally got their tokens for their votes for contests 1 through 6. So once again, took as long as it did for the same reasons as previously mentioned. Moving forward, there should be, I'm not going to say no headaches, there should be less headaches. Okay, so congratulations, guys. Thank you, and you've got your first batch. Now, moving on to contests, there's a country we've talked about this before. I've talked about a country ambassador stage 1 contest started yesterday. It is going to run through Monday, August 24th. So this is a reminder to all country group leaders. John, hi. Anyone who has promotional skills in their respective country, please go to freeton.org/contests and make your submissions. Inform your users, your user groups, everybody you're in contact with in your region, and make your submissions. Stage 2 is going to follow immediately after stage 1, and the rewards are very healthy. So it's definitely worth submitting your CV for stage 1. Now, there are a few new proposals that are coming out. Hopefully, again, I'm underscoring the word hopefully, today or tomorrow. First is the Brand Masters proposal, and the second is called the DePool Validator Contest proposal. Mitya will talk about the Validator contest in a minute, but the Brand Master proposal, if it's passed, will start this coming Monday the 17th. And I believe we have Michael Shopkin and Daria from IoTex here with us. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Great. Can you two just briefly describe the contest proposal for us?
Yes, I will ask my colleague Daria to tell some words about this proposal.
Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry. Hello everyone. My name is Daria, and I'm been current IoTex project brand ambassador for over 2 years, and I have a great experience to share with you. The Freeton community is only at the beginning of its development. So right now it is very important to properly organize the platform basis called the Brand Master Program. Our team has prepared a contest to identify best practices for creating, maintaining, and supervising the Brand Masters program for the global community. The crypto community is a powerful structure in which there are a lot of valuable persons who will be interested in cooperation with Freeton. We, and especially the Freeton project itself, will have the opportunity to choose the best of the best practices, and especially the following criteria. First, this is how to organize the Brand Master work. Second, how to keep Brand Masters work records. Third, this is how to distribute rewards for the performed work. And fourth, this is what kind of tasks to distribute among the masters in accordance with their skills, abilities, and availability of resources. Therefore, we will be very glad to our proposal approval to hold such a contest, and thus we will give the community an opportunity to show themselves for the new site. Thanks.
Thank you, Daria.
Thank you, Daria. Thanks.
Thank you, Daria. Thank you, Michael. So you heard it here first. So as soon as that proposal goes live, we're asking all of the voting members to please get that passed. This is a very important thing, and it's a very good thing. And as I understand, it's also been tested in other networks, and it works. So that's a good thing. All right. The DePool validators proposal, very, very important. I'll go ahead and pass things over to Mitya so he can tell you a little more about that. And he can also walk you through the wrap-up phase of the Magister Ludi game. This should be interesting. So that's my time. Mitya, over to you.
Oh my God. It's like,
good luck.
First of all, I mean, this thing is over. I can't believe it, really. It's like, No, and of course, the first thing I want to say is just a huge thank you for the community to participate. This is like really incredible thing. Yeah, again, on so many levels. And today, the last day and the last 10 minutes of it proved, I think, even more how great it is, and it was. So first of all, I'll start from just let me maybe share my screen and just few, I don't know, wrap up things. So let me just share it. Oh, I cannot share my screen for some obscure reason.
Fix it. Fix it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Roma, give him access.
No problem. It's already fixed. Okay, so first of all, about the game objective and the results. The game objective was never to test the maximum potential of a game of the network performance. That was not the goal. The goal was to choose the best 300 validators, and it's not the same. But we have tested a lot on from the technical side over this time, and it helped tremendously, really. Like so many issues were found and fixed during these games. And because we introduced load on the real network conditions with a lot of validators, and I even don't want to start to just, we will of course write a wrap up of that technical part. I don't even want to start, but in the end, what we get in the end is a stable network, which we could not kill. We got it already in end of game 3. We tweaked a little bit settings for this game. We gave a little bit more gas for the blocks to a little bit increase performance, but we wanted, the main goal was to be on the very safe side. So what we have tested here can be transferred to DevNet for the next contest, which I will talk about later, and to the mainnet. So before the validators join, all the additional validators join the network will be upgraded to, should be upgraded to this settings. And these settings are stable enough, good enough in our view currently. They are mitigating some of the problems with the implementation in C++ and in the network design, which we have found and not yet fixed. They will be fixed, but it's not critical because now we have a settings which is pretty high performance, as you will see now, but also quite stable. Well, very stable, I should say. So first of all, game 0 kind of won, if we want to call it this way, in terms of the number of transactions that they was able to pass, and that is this number. So it's 118 million transactions in approximately a week time, with a stable network condition, again, very stable. And that means it's about half a year of Ethereum blockchain in 1 week. It's not a bad number at all. I think it's one of the most performant numbers out in existence. Also, remember, they're not just a simple account balance changes. They are smart contracts. So I don't want to go into compare it directly because, again, the goal was not to kind of break records. It would be nice to break record, but once we realized that we need to cut off some of the parameters of the network, we knew that it's not going to happen, okay? But in a real network with a lot of validators, I think this is extremely good results. I mean, extremely good results. On peaks, we got, I think, about 600, 700 transactions per second, which is twice what is DevNet in a most high performance blockchains right now kind of showing in a limited settings. So I think the results are very good. We, again, the game 0, for example, performed until the very last moment before it stopped, and that's quite nice. In parallel to that, we also, as you probably remember, we said we will play some chess games. We wanted actually to load the network with these chess games, but we couldn't load the network with the chess games. It just wasn't enough, performance out of this chess games contracts. And so we run another contracts to create the load. But meantime, we also run in a very kind of slow mode. There are contracts which exchanged moves once in a minute, I think, or something like that. I don't know, Boris can definitely correct me if I'm wrong. And what happened was that we managed to play about, well, again, it's not managed because we didn't want to squeeze as much as possible. But anyway, they played 6,000 games on average, 7,000 games on average, kind of on every network. And we also did this for just today call. You can see if you go to the accounts in this network, on any network, you will see this: Emanuel Lasker, Lev Psachis, Ludomir Luboyevich, Alexander Belявsky, and so on. They're, of course, famous grandmasters and world champions, and they're smart contracts actually. And these smart contracts actually played some chess between them in kind of real time, more or less blitz settings. And you can see here, this is the message that one of these smart contracts passed to another with this move. You can see the move actually here. So of course we didn't wasn't time to write any player for that. But if someone would write a chess player, or connect existing chess player to the blockchain, to certain smart contracts, and display this, it could display or play the party real time, and out of the blockchain. These contracts are actually quite good. Boris kind of wrote them in more or less 1 or 2 weeks. Again, not full time, but they're already quite good. They can perform some nice stuff. There are places there for organization of the tournaments, rating calculation, and stuff like that. So quite interesting stuff. Unfortunately, we couldn't play again. We could make it play like all the games we wanted to play, but because they didn't really, they weren't optimized for load. They were optimized to play kind of relaxed between each other, and it was no time basically to make them high load. So that's why, because that's why it's only like 7,000 games per network. But I think that's kind of nice. So that's about the chess, and we will continue hopefully to develop this further. And using these contracts, anyone can play chess on the blockchain, organize tournaments on the blockchain, calculate ratings on the blockchain, and do some nice stuff like that. Okay, so there will be a lot of questions. So I'm not going to discuss like this interesting game mechanics that happened over this period. Just wanted to say again, huge thank you for everyone. And one important thing to add from me is that, as I said in the chat already today, there will be like people who, like, not everyone can win a game. I mean, it's obvious. Like, there are winners and losers. But I think there will be more games, and the one that we want to start right away. So there will be definitely possibility for someone who really wants it and didn't make it, like for example in the game, or want just to add. They participate in more games. More games will be anyway created going forward, because we will need those. There's a Rust node coming that will be a special additional game for that, and so performance game, maybe there were some suggestions to do the performance breaking record kind of game. We can try to do that a little later. So there will be more opportunities to join the network. I'm sure everyone who really wants to validate will be able to validate. That's my personal view. Which brings us to the next contest, which is a DePool. And this is interesting contest, of course, and it's been published, and there's some discussion about that. There is only one open question, I think, for this, is this, which I wanted to raise on this call, is what the amount of tons we will give for each validator cycle successful in DePool. There were suggestions about 1,000 tons for each validator for each validation cycle, which is about 24 hours, something. So I would suggest to discuss that, or make a framework for this kind of discussion, and to fill this number before the governance actually votes on that. So I don't know, Ron, how do you want to go about that? But we need to decide on this number.
Well, I think we have the discussion going on the forum for sure, but I think we also have a few people here.
So if you have any comments on that, my proposal and what I heard in the community chats, it's about 1,000 tons for each validator who successfully validates.
In reality, sorry, but this is it's way too much. If you compare it with rewards for working validator for going forward, then it will be too high number, very high number.
Well, we have the whole contest is about 20 days or something like that. So we're talking about 20,000 tons.
It's about reasoning numbers. So again, let's discuss it on the forum. But
well, we don't have time to discuss it anymore. If we want to start this week, this contest.
Well, we do a little bit, Mita, to be honest, because we had a sorry, Pavel. We had a little bit of a setback. I know we wanted to get it activated as soon as possible, and we will try, but the jury's bogged down right now, right? So maybe another day or two, just change the date to one more day, and let's give it a day on the forum. I think that's important, because
the forum discussion been going on for 2 or 3 days already. So I don't know.
Yeah, but 2 or 3 days is just. It's too
well. The people are not discussing this. It's like.
So let them come and discuss. Here we are live. Give it your thoughts. Go to Freeton.
Again, it should be compared to rewards which people got vested for a year. So in that respect, it should be 100. It's very easy to calculate.
So you're suggesting that the whole total reward for the validator?
Oh, it's 4,000. It's 4,000 per month, kind of like that. So if you calculate, it should be.
I personally think it's too low, because we remember we have only 10 places to win. There's nothing else.
10 places, but we will have a lot of competitors, and the maximum rounds they can get is 37. So I think that, but no one will get the maximum, because those who will get the maximum will receive a place in whole leaderboard from 1 to 10. So let's assume that so let's assume that 20 cycles is an average. And then 1,000 is reasonable. Maybe 700, maybe 500.
We'll review it. I thought that everyone who participates will get it. Actually, that was my.
No. There are 10 there are 10. Yes, everyone will get this for the cycle, but then there are the winners of the game, and we want more than 300 validators to participate. I think 100, knowing that only 10 places will get the winning stake, getting 100 for the validation cycle is just, I don't think it's gonna cut it, frankly.
My view was that we should reward more or less everyone who will participate.
Yes, I'm saying 100 tokens for reward for cycle for everyone will not cut it, because the distribution, unlike in Validator's game, where 75% got, pretty high rewards, here only 10 parties will get high rewards, I think all the rest of the validators need to get more than 100 per cycle. So that will not ensure big participation in that. And this is important contest, I think. I don't know why we're.
Well, I think we're discussing this on the podcast. The forum is where this should be taking place. That's
Sure.
where the so please
Anyway,
go to the forum and give your thoughts.
Well, yeah, but we need to get a decision and not next Tuesday. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So within the next 24 hours, let's get something going.
Okay, so let's agree that we have this number in 24 hours time. Whatever we have discussion, what discussion, not discussion, you discuss it between yourself or something else, but this number should be here in 24 hours, I think, if we want to get, people not to, because there are costs that people incur every day of running a validator. And of course, the people who wants to participate in this game will not just let the validator run unless the game starts soon. You understand? So in order, again, for this game be, have a chance of having a lot of people to participate, which I think it deserves, it need to be start soon and get, pretty high rewards for the rest of the validators, not only these two that will win it.
Sure, especially since the Magister Ludi game is now at an end. This is is the next one. Yeah,
exactly. So this is one thing. Another thing that we got questions a lot about, this is a slashing conditions, which is a part of this game. I wanted to kind of just comment on that. So yes, this will be a slashing conditions, but not fully implemented slashing conditions as per the contest which is going now. Actually running now. This will be kind of not decentralized slashing conditions, but still a lot of the work on the slashing conditions could be tested there. So what we have done is we are creating a patch to the C++ node that will send the validator statistics to a central server currently from the validator directly to the server, and the server will perform will publish it, of course, on the leaderboard again, but then we'll perform some analysis of this, and of course all kind of transparent, but not in decentralized manner, because of course we're not going to implement slashing conditions before the contest is done. So but it will allow us to also test the future things that we want from the slashing conditions to be and how all that works. And I think it will help everyone, and it will also add additional testing layer on this kind of validator contest that will ensure now also not only like a performance of the master chain blocks, which was kind of nice for the game, but we want this time to have much more metrics on the validators, which includes the shard chain blocks and the validation time per block. So we will get like performance metrics, and even again, if we could do that for the game, for the first game, we would do that, but we just couldn't. It was no time to do that. And now we can do that, and I think that will be interesting to see again additionally how the validator nodes are really performing, like in terms of quality of the node, not just the master chain blocks. Oh, more precise metrics. I think that is really important objective of this game as well, apart from testing DePools, of course. And that will be interesting because it involves many things will be tested. Slashing conditions, the performance of validators, the performance of the smart contract itself, the DePool, and it will be tested in terms of, we will stress test the smart contracts as well, and we welcome everyone to, by the way, to do that. But there is a special, of course, hack price for that if you break the DePool contract. So will be fun, I think. Well, I think that's all from me.
Thank you, Mita. All right, well, that's so the validator contests never end and the tokens keep flowing and flowing. That's awesome. Okay, well, let's we have no more subjects, so let's go to questions from the podcast. We have several people with us here today. There goes Ivan. Ivan, go ahead.
Yeah, the first question is about, so thank you, Mitya, for clarification about how the slashing conditions will be calculated, the metrics for them will be calculated, because there was one of the, like, my essential questions on the forum. And yeah, there is also a question, is it possible to create the same slashing condition in decentralized manner? Is it technically possible?
Of course. That's the preparation for the decentralized metric. That's exactly what we're doing. The validator and the collator will send metrics right now to central place, but of course in the real slashing, they will be sent aggregated and sent to a special smart contract, which will then use this metrics. You basically vote for this metrics, and if they approved, and if you break something, you will get slashed. And this will be I think the most comprehensive slashing mechanism in existence in any blockchain. Right?
Yes, we can see that metrics are like low level, and they are like the metrics are all about like consensus level, but
it's a performance level. Yeah.
But I don't really. I think that there will be some security issues of like how to calculate it in decentralized manner, because like we can measure this only like from one source.
No, it's much simpler. Every node is sending some metrics to the blockchain. Okay. And all the nodes or other nodes are sending also the metrics, and these metrics are not about your performance, but you can see the other performance. So if you agree on that,
okay, yeah,
then if 66% agree that one validator didn't send the blocks, for example, didn't collate, and despite the fact that he himself may tweak the metrics and send his metrics like he did collate,
yes,
but if 66% agreed that he didn't, then he will be slashed.
Okay, yeah, got it. So yeah, if this algorithm will be implemented, then I agree. Okay. The second question is from community. They push me to ask it on a stream. So some participants of branding contests are sure that the rewards for animated stickers and non-animated stickers should be like increased, because we have like 25 prizes for memes contest, and we have only 13 prizes for animated and non-animated stickers, and they think that quality and efforts they put into these contests are like higher than the participants of memes contests. What do you think, Ron?
Say again.
Some people who participated in animated stickers and non-animated stickers contests are like pushed me to ask to ask you to get a green light for like make a proposal to increase amendment proposal to increase rewards like we did with DevOps tools contests, because the efforts they made are like from their perspective much higher than efforts which was made by like memes contestants.
Okay, all right. Why is that question directed at me? Let them make a proposal.
Guys, I mean, I think it's very, very, very bad practice to check reports after the. So we did some changes before. because again, with tuning governance, the idea is that proposal should be tuned and agreed carefully. That's why I'm saying that rewards should be we should think about rewards in a way not just standalone something, but in the context of other contests, because then I mean, if you pay some higher rewards in one contest, then other guys will say, okay, we want those to be increased as well. So this is this what governance should think about it. But the idea is that we should not change.
Yeah, let me add to that. So I understand that a bad precedent has been set, and a bad precedent was set because of the fact that we were in governance 1.0, where you could do those things. A decentralized governance cannot do those things. So I understand, but these are steps. We are now in governance 1.1. And now that we're in governance 1.1, there will no longer be this, oh, something went amiss, let's go back and fix it. It won't happen. So I'm saying that with the utmost respect to everybody. I understand people put in a lot of work. I understand, but this is how we evolve. Okay. The number one thing to keep in mind is it's never about right now. It's always about the next step. So there will be more memes, there will be more stickers, social media, and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't end here. So in this case, if you feel slighted, it isn't because somebody slighted you. It is because this was the contest. This is how it was written. You participated in the contest, and then you realized, oh, gee, somebody else makes as much as me. I get it, but that's the contest. That's how it is. So we're not going to keep going back and fixing something that was already fixed. It's like rebuilding the same house over and over again. And then your neighbor builds a bigger house and it's a nicer house and he built it for cheaper and you go, ah, darn you. No, we can't do that. So that's not how it works. We move forward. So I understand and I empathize. So my suggestion would be, first of all, win this contest. Next contest, win that one. But it's a learning process. So the next contest and whoever proposes the next contest, and maybe the folks who have the issue can propose a new contest to move it forward, to create better things, to create better memes, to whatever the case may be, better promotion. Because this is also very important, and this is also part of moving towards governance 1.2, is that it's not about rerunning the same contest over and over and over again. That doesn't make any sense. This contest is done. How about what is the next step to grow the community? Think about adoption. Think about how people are going to, how are you going to bring new users in? How are you going to grow the community? So you make an even better contest and then you decide what you think the reward should be. The community will come together. We'll discuss it on the forum and we'll come to a consensus. And then it'll be launched.
Yeah, well, I totally agree that going back in time is bad practice. And I think that we should not rethinking rewards, but because there was a formula and we are all agreed and participated. So yeah, but somebody raised an issue and I just wanted to receive a feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not, sorry, it's maybe my tone of voice. No. As many questions you want, we'll answer them.
Why don't they make a proposal on the forum?
Yeah, I suggested them to make a proposal, but they are in a location where the internet is very bad for now due to some political issues. So yeah.
So do it on their behalf.
I agree actually that in the future we don't. I think that we don't need more stickers in the future. Why so that?
Stickers are awesome, by the way. They're
so
bloody awesome. I love
they
them.
are. Can I just say something? Can I just say something? So I'm not a sticker guy. I'm not a smiley face guy. And literally, Freeton made me a sticker smiley face guy. I always looked at the stickers and the things, and I was like, oh God, why do people do this? And now I'm doing it more than everybody else because they're so funny. and I saw a bunch of GIFs that just made me crack up. It's great. It's absolutely great.
It's a viral effect, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm an old man, and even I'm into it now.
I think that the right answer on this question, the guys, you can create the proposal on the forum and like a DevOps contest or something like that, and of course you can. Why not?
Yeah, not necessarily DevOps, but just create the new, move it forward, move the community forward, whatever comes to your imagination, do it.
First contest, actually it was in the first set, and we obviously and this was clearly unfair in that time. That's I think governors agreed to make that backward change of rewards. But again, if we will do this in such not an obvious situation, and this will create, I mean, again, bad practice. So I don't think that at this particular situation it is reasonable.
I agree, but there are a problem that many people, they wrote me and they told me that there was a problem with this jury probably
let's get to that. Let's get to that in a minute, because it's in the list of questions. Let's not address it just right now, because let's just skip this part. I think we pretty much just said what we need to say for the time being. Let's stick to the questions that deal with not the contests and everything else. I'll address those again just in a minute when we get to them. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, what other questions do we have? Nobody in the conference? None at all? Okay, in that case, let's move on to YouTube. Hello, Prabhu Ram says, it would be better if we had an Indian group on Telegram. Okay, so if you mean an Indian group in Freeton, there was an attempt to have one. So far, there's not a lot of movement. So I would suggest that you start one. I think that would be wonderful. I think we don't have an India group yet, do we?
There is an Indian group, sure.
Is there? I believe there's like 70 members in there, right?
Yeah, but still there is an Indian.
Okay, so maybe just search for, let's see, I'll even tell you, India chain. If you go and look at Telegram and type in this, and I'll drop it into the chat. There's your Telegram group right there. Okay. Next, Yevgeny Liskovich asks, okay, and may I just suggest, I know sometimes it's hard on YouTube, but sometimes we get questions that are broken down into 3 or 4 comments. If at all possible, if you can formulate your question and just ask it as one, that would be great, because it's kind of hard to try to decipher all 3 parts and glue them together. But he says, I want to ask someone to talk for 1 or 2 minutes about the 2% inflation, the future economics with regard to 5 billion coins without some ton reserve to manage the coin price. How will we operate an economy with a coin which is not stable and varying with the supply and demand? Does staking interest on the Surf app overcome this inflation rate? And I think it is an interesting topic to talk about in the community, members, and appreciate. Okay, so let me try to summarize that. So I want to ask, he wants to ask if somebody can talk about the 2% inflation economically speaking.
Yeah, I understand the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
It's very easy. I mean, those who will participate in staking, they will get this, because it's not inflation. It is actually emission. So when validators produce new blocks, they get new tokens. This is exactly the same in all decentralized networks. So validators in that respect, or if you use DePools, then those who will provide stakes for them that will get this emission, and they will get, since this only portion of all tokens in the network will participate in staking, so then you will get much higher rate. That's very easy. And if you understand, if you think that now vast majority of all tokens reserved in givers, so then you can calculate that you can get much higher reward in that respect.
Yeah. Also need to remember that the current rate of emission in Bitcoin is all more or less the same. And just before May of this year, it was, twice that almost, like more than 3%. So I think this is very modest number on par with what Bitcoin has, for example. And it need to be high enough to support the validation on the network, and that's one of the most important aspects. So I think 2% is very reasonable. And by the way, right now is less than that. Right now is 0.25 more or less. So when we get to the 2%, it will take time to get to the 2% as well.
Okay, hope that answers your question. I'm not going to pronounce the name. I don't want to murder anybody's name.
Yeah, sorry. I just one thought about that. You should not, and I think we discussed that in Hebrew chat in Israel community before. As I think this is very important not to confuse emission with inflation, right? So there's two different things, and the fact that you have 2% emission doesn't mean that you have 2% inflation, not at all. As you see with Bitcoin, you don't have any inflation whatsoever, despite the fact that before this May, Bitcoin had more emission than this. Well, I think that's it.
Makes sense. Thank you, Mitra. Okay. All right, here we go with the, I have, hello, Freeton. I have questions about the voting process. How many members are there now? How many jurors will be selected in the contest, jury selection 1.1? Okay, so right now there are 15, I believe, jurors of the top of the initial 23 members, which is exactly why we're doing the jury selection 1.1. There will be a 1.2 and a 1.3, etc. Right? How many will there be? I don't know. That's up to that's a vote, right? Who's going to be president? I don't know. Well, maybe I do. Anyway, if my validator rank is 85th for the validator contest, is it possible to have some rewards or no? That's it. That's the question. I'm 85th in the contest. Do I get rewards? Mitya? I think that's for you, Mitya.
Sorry, again, which question?
So it says my validator rank is 85th in the validator contest. Do I get rewards?
It's a question to Sergey, but I think, yeah, it's 75, no? Who get reward? 75 who get rewards.
Is Sergey here? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, apparently.
Hi guys.
Hi.
The 75th place surely get rewards.
85th, I think.
85th. I'm not sure.
No. 85 is I think this is a confusion, I think, between the threshold number again and the participation number. We're getting 300 in the end, right? 300 validators, not more. So the fact that you had over the threshold doesn't mean that you will win. I think we discussed that before, no?
The threshold is to cut off some weaker validators. If you have rating more than the minimum rating threshold, you are invited to the KYC procedures, because we expect that there will be less winners after the KYC procedures than in the current leaderboard. So you have a chance, but not guaranteed.
Thank you, Sergey. So there's your answer. Okay. Blank message says, asks rather, regarding the problem with recovering the last round stakes, could we count those who couldn't return their stakes as their stakes and they have returned the same amount which they have stakes? Did anybody understand that? Okay. Regarding the problem with recovering round stakes, could we count those who couldn't return their stakes because they couldn't return the same amount? Mitya, are you understanding?
No. Can you repeat, please?
He just fixed it. Regarding the problem with recovering the last round stakes, could we count those who couldn't return their stakes as there have returned the same amount? No. There's your
No, because you couldn't. That's okay. Let me again. This is my position. Okay, what happened in this game in the last 10 minutes of the next validation cycle was totally legitimate. Not only legitimate. I think it's also was expected behavior as per game theory. I mean, we should have been very worried if that wouldn't happen. And yes, we asked people to continue validating, but it was also discussed in chats and by Sergey a lot that there is a very interesting tactic that we should expect actually, that the validators will collect their stake reward and just shut down the node, because this is a winning game. This is a winning tactic, right? And that's what exactly happened. And that's why it's exactly happened. And that was, yes, purposely, and it has nothing to do with coordination, because the amount of people who switched off the node could not be coordinated. I mean, you cannot just expect that to be a coordination. It was just an expected, selfish, totally game theory behavior. If you are participating in a game where the winning strategy for you is to switch off your node after you collected the reward, right? And actually, as a collective behavior, it doesn't involve any penalty on doing that, and it doesn't, then you should do that. If you didn't do that, you probably wasn't a selfish and reasonable game participant. Very simple. So I really don't see any issue, personally, any issue with that behavior, and it's not against the rules at all. So I don't understand. I mean, totally different topic is about, for example, when like we forgot to switch our nodes, or some people who got because of that out. That was against the rules of the game, clearly. Like, so we broke the rules that need to be fixed. I don't know, was it fixed? I didn't really follow. Sergey can comment on that. This problem should have been fixed, but this is totally according to the rules, and not only according to the rules. It's expected behavior, game theory behavior, and it's a decentralized behavior actually. So I think it's awesome that we saw that. It's awesome that we saw it. Despite, I mean, I personally asked in the chat, guys, for the development purpose, I need, please give us game 2 running more. What did they do with my suggestion? Rolled it up and put it in the S, right? So didn't give a shit. They just stopped the network, and it's fine. It's totally fine. I understand that. I mean, that's a totally reasonable economic behavior in these settings. Good game. I mean, what can I say? I don't know.
All right. Well, that's putting it bluntly. Okay. Right. So next question from CryptoTech. Hope the team can at least give some rewards for those who have been running at least 3 weeks Validator. Which team? Yeah. I can't answer that. Anybody want to answer that? Some rewards? Anybody want to give somebody some rewards? I don't think
Rewards are quite generous, and actually, I think that if you run Validator for 3 weeks, and you should be in top 300. That's my guess.
There you go. If you're in the top 300, it's a go. Oh, sorry, wrong thumb. He says to cover their operational costs. Makes sense. Well, the question's been answered. Alex Novikov, question about slashing conditions. Why not use the blockchain itself for writing validation statistics? It will be more transparent than a central server and more distributed. Did I disappear?
No, you didn't.
Meetup, please.
You wanted me to answer what the question was? Sorry, I just
Meetup,
not me. The
Please
question,
listen.
the question was about slashing conditions. He says, why not use the blockchain itself for writing validation statistics? So it'll be more transparent. But I think that's
I answered that because there are contests for that, for the slashing conditions, and these are things that need to be. It's not something that we need to pass the design, we need to discuss the design, we need to implement that. It's not easy. So, and currently blockchain does not have this metrics. It has one metric only passed right now, which you can get, and that's not enough for all the metrics that we want. So we will need to implement that, and then we will need to, which something we're doing right now, but just for testing, and that may change if the design will be different, that will be accepted in the end. But also it's also will take time to create smart contracts for this, and to aggregate, and because we cannot send all the statistics to the blockchain all the time, all the metrics. It will just be too much data to pass, unnecessary. So there is some development work to be done, and it cannot be done in 1 week or something. So right now it's like that for the purpose of the game, but the metrics will be checked, and that's good thing. So part of that will be kind of tested already.
But you have to realize that it will not be a true blockchain case. They will have to go out of blockchain to be collected and then back to the blockchain to be stored, right? Because smart contracts and blockchain members are designed to be separated from each other. Smart contracts execution is fully separated from the outside world, and validators running process assumes no value flow. So either smart contract, system smart contract of elector, which receives data by design, or it has to go off chain and back.
Yeah, that which is not a problem, because again, as I said before, there will be a voting for that, which will be automatic voting, and it will be very similar to electoral contract in that respect.
Okay, we're already at an hour. Let's finish up with YouTube, and then we can go to some questions that were written in from people who couldn't participate. So last YouTube question is, when will the airdrop start? That's actually a good question. When is that going to start?
Yeah, so first of all, we should add more validators. So we should be more decentralized, and at that point, there should be proposals accepted by governments to do different airdrop mechanics. Because at the moment, they're still with only initial validators participating. Or actually, I guess there is at least one validator which collected stakes from contest. This is my actually guess, but I looked at statistics, so I think that there is one. But anyway, so at the moment, without validators, community validators, we don't think that it is a good idea to make airdrops. So, like, once we'll distribute rewards, then we can go to airdrops.
Yeah, I also want to add that this, by the way, this DePool smart contract is extremely important for actually distributing the rewards, because as you remember, the most of rewards will be distributed into DePools, and without this contest, which will teach, but will debug the DePools, additionally will teach the validators to run and operate DePools, work, with DePools and create tooling around DePools, create scripts and so on. I think this is extremely important contest to run before any stakes are distributed to the winners of the game, and that's more or less exactly why I think this needs to be started as soon as possible, because before the end of this contest we will not be able to distribute the rewards on the mainnet for the DePools.
Yep. Hello, is there any KYC in the future? Yes. But again, it's going to be, somebody talk about how the KYC is actually going to work.
I have no idea. Someone else should talk about that.
We'll do announcement this week. The idea should be third-party provider, so it will be a legal firm which will collect documents. So we don't want to take or don't want to do it by any of initial member, because it's not our business to do KYC. So there will be specialized firm which will do it on behalf of community, and they will provide results to the governance of sending rewards.
Thank you. Okay. Question, what about a new Magister Ludi game? Well, I think, okay, so I mentioned this earlier. Here's something we don't want to do. We don't want to keep repeating the same contest over and over and over again. I understand that everybody wants to, participate. The object of everything that's being done, contests, whatever, is evolution, right? We become more and more decentralized. We are now, Freeton right now is in stage governance 1.
Wait, Ron, this DePool contest is a kind of continuation of Validator game. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You can see this way. I mean, it's a different game, but it's even more precise, if you will. Of course, that will run on the DevNet, and for the first time, like all the blockchain statistics will be covered and kind of taken into account. So it will be more precise in terms of results, and we're getting better in that. It involves also some smart contracts and some additional logic. I mean, this is I would say it's the next step of evolution of a Ludi game, if you ask me.
Right. Yeah. And that's how all contests need to work, right? We can't just run the exact same contest 50 times. That's pointless. The idea is that it adds something to the network, that it brings something to the network, that it advances the network. So you can use whatever name you want. So if for your sake, if you want to call it Magister Ludi Game 2, that's fine, but it's the next level. So I hope that answers that. How many jurors, I think he means, are currently in governance? Because I can see any 2 to 3 votes on current competition going through evaluation process and only 2 days left. Right. So, okay. I mentioned this at the beginning. I don't want to have to answer it all over again. You can look through the video from the stream from the very beginning. There was a bug, right? We fixed it. The jurors are voting right now. So there's not 2 to 3. There was just a halt in the system. Everything should be done this week. So everything's going to be fine. Byram Gardner asks, is there going to be a contest for KYC, a KYC contest? I don't know how to answer that.
No.
No, your answer is no.
KYC is sad reality because we need to understand that there no collusion between validators, and this is it. This is the only sad necessity, and this is not the way we are planning to go.
We hate KYC.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
If you read my proposal, by the way, about the distributed KYC, so you kind of understand how much. At least personally, I hate it. But yeah.
Yeah. And he's asking a follow-up question. Do I have to pass KYC to be rewarded? I don't know if that's a question for the live stream.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, and that's what Pasha said before, is that there will be a KYC by third party just to ensure that we're talking like the rewards as per the rules of the game are handed into one individual like hand, which is not one party.
Right.
That
you don't want your tokens going to your neighbor, right?
No, not about that. Not about that. We don't want just hold your neighborhood. Just
he's asking, should I show them my passport?
That was a joke. Just disregard.
No, he's joking. Should I show them my passport?
We have no. I don't know. Maybe Pavel can answer that. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should pass in that respect. I mean, that's for sure. But pass. I mean, pass means that you are individual, or say you are independent party. Pass in that respect means that again, they will be checked for collusion, and that's not one person who.
All right, let's not go there. Yeah. In other words, it's a document, and if it passes, then it passes. And he says, he asked, when does the KYC function begin? When does it start?
I can only say that it should finish before we distribute the rewards, which is like end of August, beginning September, I should say, if we pass this DePool contest quickly. So, so beforehand, everything should be done. So expected during August, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Mita. All right, that's it for YouTube questions. We have a few.
I just want to add, it should be clear that passing KYC is the only way to get your rewards. So it's not obligatory, but you can not pass. But it means that somebody in the leaderboard, some other participant would get your reward. I think to complete the answer to this question.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So Byram, and he just asked exactly that question. If I don't pass KYC, that means I won't be rewarded? No, it doesn't. You'll be rewarded.
Wait, if you don't pass KYC,
right now, he means right now. Rewarded. He means right now. Like he says, if I won a contest and won't go through KYC, that means I won't get rewarded?
Exactly. You won't get rewarded because the KYC portion
right now, necessary. Today.
No, not today. What today?
Okay. I think he means today. I think
no, I don't think he means today because there was no KYC today. There's no KYC today. So what is? Yeah, no, but yes, you should pass KYC. That was in the original rules. That we need to be sure that we're hanging the rewards to independent parties, which are real people or real organizations, and independent.
That's that. So let's go to questions that were written in by people who couldn't join us today. From Matvey Fisenko. At the end of the this goes back to Magister Ludi. At the end of the competition, some of the participants could not collect their stakes due to the fact that
we just discussed that.
I know. Hold on. Let me voice this question. Let me voice this question.
Sure.
Some of the participants could not collect their stakes due to the fact that other participants collected their stakes and immediately turned off their servers. This led to the fact that the rating of the former did not increase and the rating of the latter increased by 15%. Game 2. Given that the competition was not originally intended as a betting game, the situation is not straightforward. Formally, neither one nor the other broke the rules. How do you think? How do you want to deal with this?
Okay, again, that just I will, because this is so so many like heated discussions today about that. So I just want to reiterate. But if someone wants to also get their like perspective on that, I think we should do that. I mean, if anyone want to add to that, but my personal opinion on that is very, very simple. This is not breaking the rules, so it's not an issue. It's a totally independent behavior by rational parties of the game. If you are a rational party participating in the game, okay, and your rational behavior should be for winning strategy, like to shut up your node after you collected the reward, then you should do that. If you didn't do that, then you are irrational party, which means several things potentially. A, you could not calculate correctly. Okay. B, you were too lazy. C, you're not an independent party. Like all of these, and maybe some more, but all of these are bad for the game, not good for the game. So and again, I have a full sympathy to people who kind of, I don't have, by the way, I do not have sympathy to people who missed a collection of rewards because they were lazy or didn't calculate correctly, or I don't know.
Okay, well, let's not just assume they were lazy. I mean, let's not do that.
No, I'm not assuming. I'm saying if they were like the, yeah, but and of course accidents can happen, obviously, but this is also part of the game. Like say there is an accident and you switched by accident, your node shut down and you didn't kind of, you didn't, you didn't see that. And if that happens, well, what, we need to stop the game because you kind of didn't see that your node was failing or something. It's more or less the same thing, right? If you did it by accident. If you did it purposely, then you lost, and it's totally okay. You thought of the behavior should be different than the one you assumed, and it happens, right? So, so I don't see an issue. I mean, I seriously don't see, and I read through all the arguments, in both chats, like in the English chat and the Russian chat, and I didn't, personally, I'm not convinced. I didn't get the, single argument that would be rational in my perspective. Like the argument was, it's a coordinated attack. Well, if it's coordinated attack of more than 66%, that like it's probably a strategy already, right? I mean, you would get a fork. If something like that happens on the main net, like something like that, and you're not doing the right choice, probably you're voting for a wrong network or something like that, right? Which is irrational behavior. So I think it's, I cannot inside myself, and again, I'm sympathizing to the people who didn't win. I definitely do that for many reasons, because someone were better than them or something like that. And, it should happen. And not everyone can win. And I definitely sympathize with everyone who participated. That's absolutely great. But in this particular case, like, while I'm sympathizing personally to these people who lose the game, whatever reason was, which is fair and of course reason according to the rules, we cannot change the game for some other people to lose. That would be unfair, right? Because they didn't do anything wrong.
I think unjust is even a better word.
Unjust, unfair, yeah, absolutely.
Well, fair. Everybody has to remember, fair and just are two different things. Life is fair.
Yeah, no, but it's a game.
Life is just.
Remember, Manchester United against Bavaria, until the 19th minute, Bavaria winning, and then in the last 2 minutes, they got 2 goals scored by Manchester United. So they said, it's unfair. I mean, we need to change. We need to stop. We need to and they say it a lot, but I mean.
What he said,
and that's the beauty of it.
You need soccer.
You need to, you call it whatever you want, soccer, yeah. But you need to play until the last minute, right? In any game, you play until the last minute. if you don't play until last minute and you lose, who you want to blame?
Makes sense. So there's your answer. How about that? Okay. Next question. I'll take this one. So why is the jury in the jury election contest indicated me some kind of relationship? Only I have submitted. I know where this comes from. Look, I'm not going to speak specifically to every submission, okay, because the jury is going to vote. But I know this particular case, okay? So this particular case was tracked back to the fact that the person who submitted, let me rephrase. Here's how you submit a contest submission. You submit your work, you provide links. Those links have to lead back to you. That's it. If they don't lead back to you, the jury has the option to reject it. Because there can be attacks, there can be falsification of information, and there's no if there's no way to prove that it's you who submitted it, then there's no way to award you a jury seat. In fact, I would argue that if you're going to be on a jury, right, if you're going to be judging others' work, you should at least have the basic conception to understand how to objectively present information and objectively process that information, which includes the ability to actually look for facts. So I think the jury is actually doing a very good job. By the way, I need to remind everybody, the vote is not over, right? We have, I believe, until the 14th. If somebody wants to correct me, until the 14th. So the jury is still voting, but the jury is also very diligent. And when they look at submissions, they look at your links. They look at your links both in the discussion forum. They look at your PDF. If you have 3 sentences with links that don't open, who are you? Is that your submission, or did you take somebody else's information and put it there? So, again, I'm not going to talk specifically to your case. I think what you need to do is either just look at how you submit your proposals going forward, or your, submissions going forward, and make sure that it's very clear that this is your work. Because if it's not clear to whoever's, look at it from the perspective of the person who's actually evaluating your submission. If it's not clear, then that's it. That's a rejection because it's not clear. So I don't mean to be so blunt, but this is important, right? You are asking to judge other people, and we aren't able to judge you. So, it's 2 + 2, man. Sorry. Anyway, that's just speaking to submission. And by the way, this goes for all submissions. Look at the rules. Sorry, wrong word. Look at the requirements in the document. Learn them carefully. Make sure that everything you submit is easily verifiable. I mean, come on, it's just common sense. All right, next question goes like this. What kind of computer characteristics are necessary for a successful fisherman, meaning fisherman code? And Mita, he specifically mentions you. Search for incorrect blocks. I'd like. And he asks if it's possible to answer this question in 2 languages, both Russian and English.
It's the fisherman, if it will be ever a fisherman, actually, because current kind of discussion about the slashing conditions are to automate the fisherman function. But of course, you can always run the fisherman if you want, and that's the same as validator. It's just the same, basically, because you need to validate like the blocks. So I think it's just a code which is very similar to a validator code. That's all. it may be less kind of if you run it in a kind of stateless client mode, more or less, but depends on what you want really to validate also, like to because you have all the shard blocks, you have the master chain block, and depends what you want to validate. If you want just to validate that the blocks are, you know, there are proofs in the blocks and all the proofs are there correctly, then it's one thing. You can do it in a more or less like stateless client fashion. But if you want to validate something else, like you want to fish for something else, some more complicated stuff, then I think you need to run kind of validator kind of code in a way. По-русски давайте на русском стриме поговорим об этом.
Yeah, what he said. Okay. So going back to the KYC question from before, Byram asks, so there's no KYC today, right? So it's not equal that some should pass and some should not.
No, it's not equal. Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, everyone should submit documents, and again, we will do announcement about the procedure and where you should go with it.
Which answers his second question, which is, so I guess there will be no more reward distributions before the KYC thing starts. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Before actually, not just starts, but ends.
Ends, right, that's right, ends, sorry. Yeah, well, reading his question. And then he goes, there's decentralization. Okay, all right, well, this is a fair question. It's decentralized, right? It's decentralization. Why should we pass KYC? I guess I can start to answer that question. Decentralization and law are two different things, right? So decentralization.
Wait, Ron, what has to do with the law? It's not about law.
It's actually exactly about decentralization. I mean, there are no ways on chain how you can see that people we distribute. Okay, just think about it. We have now like 32 or something like nodes run by initial validators. And we will bring 10 times more. But it means that if there is a collusion or if there are dependent parties, then I mean we can. The network, the main network, will be controlled by someone, or at least will get negative control. I mean, this is a very important decision to make. So, and how can we check all those people who are participating? So that's the only reason. I mean, this is definitely an awful process, but what can we do? There's no other way to prevent this.
Right.
This is the less of an evil, I would say, because the other, like, how did they do that in other networks? That's a good question, right? Also, and you have many histories again, and we're coming back to this question from the first stream. So the proof of work networks, right? Satoshi did the mining himself, and he was extremely worried about the potential collusion, a 51% attack. He was so worried. He actually wrote a proof of work code himself. I didn't know that actually. I just recently read an article about this, research article about this, that he actually wrote a proof of work mining, a GPU mining proof of work algorithm implementation. Satoshi wrote that first in the first year of Bitcoin to prevent, if necessary, a 51% attack from an outcome party, from a party which he didn't know. So, he was very worried about that. There's a real problem with decentralization, right? In the proof of work network, where particularly in the beginning. So what happened to Ethereum Classic now? Right? What happened to Bitcoin Cash? You can see all these examples of the weak network with not a lot of validators getting really, really like a easy way of organizing 51% attack. The proof of stake network, look at what happened, like with all the proof of stake networks up until now. Almost all of them were started from the investors. And when investors are investing money to get the token, and I'm talking about Cardano, Tone itself, which didn't happen. The Polkadot, like all the Solana now, everyone is running, sorry, is running investment first round, and investors are passing, well, they're passing a lot of KYC and, you know, different kind of compliance stuff so they can be able to invest, right? So there is no proof of stake network which started as we are without, you know, without investors. So how do we ensure that there is no collusion? And it's a real problem, as Pavel said before. What are the proposals? Like, what the other way to do that?
Yeah. No.
Like if tomorrow we have like 34% concentrated in one hand, and this party has, you know, whatever intention, which we don't know, then you can just stop the network.
Well, he's asking too. He says he understands this from the perspective of a validator, but why should ordinary users have to go through it?
The ordinary users don't. Who said ordinary users need to pass the KYC? Nobody said that ever. No KYC for users. And how? I mean, who is going? Like it's a free market, right?
That's right.
That's the whole point. We need to have this one layer of decentralization supported by validators.
The Freeton singularity.
Validators. Well, singularity is an opposite to decentralization.
You know what
this layer of decentralized validator layer, which then enables the free market and the, you know, distribution.
I think this guy is asking about other contest winners.
No. He actually just wrote. He said, "Got it. Now it makes sense. Thank you so much."
The other contest winners, they don't need to pass any KYC. Nothing like that.
Okay. Any more questions from anyone? We did this in 1 hour and 30. Considering the amount of data that we had today to share, this is a milestone. Usually it takes 2 hours to do less. Guys, exciting stuff. Thank you so very much, everyone, for coming. Don't forget to come again next Tuesday. Jurors, if you're watching this, please, I'm begging you, go vote, do it. We need to vote for jury 1.1 and decentralized support 2. Proposal approvals. We will have proposals uploaded in the next day or two, hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. Please, I will personally make sure that everybody is pinged, and we need to get those passed within a 24-hour time period. So thank you so much. Okay, postscriptum. Alex again asked, question about KYC. How are you going to connect game participants with the physical persons now when the games are stopped and we can't confirm our personalities of node ownership by private keys?
Yeah, that's not a problem actually, because you have your address which will be the same on the DevNet, so you can make Satoshi test on DevNet. That's very easy.
How about
that?
It's
not for us. I mean, there will be a firm for that.
And then he says, why did you not answer other questions? What other questions did you have? I thought I answered everything. Let me go through them real quick. Let me scroll up. Alex. What questions did I miss? While we have another 1 or 2 minutes, what questions did I miss? Alex Novikov. Question about KYC. How are you going to connect the participant with the physical person? I answered that. Rather. I'm sorry, what did I miss? And he says, thank you.
They're trolling you.
Okay, so hopefully that's it, guys. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. We will see you again on Tuesday. And between now and then, get to the chats and ask your questions and post your comments. We love you all. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.